So we're going to start the Q&A with VJ. Make your way out to the main room if you want to listen to our conversation. Don't be afraid to sit in the front row. All right, good evening, everybody. Thanks for coming out to our Bob's Watches and Oris event here in beautiful Tustin at the Marconi Automotive Museum. I'd like to welcome everybody. First of all, my name is Douglas Kaplan. I'm the Chief Commercial Officer for Bob's Watches, and I'm based in Miami, so we have an office out there. We have a new store opening in Naples, Florida in May, and we're just located up the road off Quail Street in Newport Beach. I have the pleasure of welcoming VJ Geronimo. He is the CEO for Oris for the Americas, including North America and South America. And he's been with the company for 13 years. And it's really a personal pleasure to have him here because VJ and I worked together at Movado Group in the late 90s for a few years. And just to be sitting here today within the watch industry at different companies, doing different things, it just shows this unique relationships you build over time and how small and comfortable and interesting this industry is. And we welcome everybody. We look forward to really meeting all of you and talking with you and celebrating watches. So thank you, VJ, for joining us with your Airstream and being our partner tonight.
Thanks for having us here. It's great to be part of it. And 25 years, that's crazy to me that you say that. But it's great to be here, and thank you again for having us in this beautiful place. Thank you all for coming to join us and be part of this. So happy for everyone to be here and talk with you.
Well, we're going to start off with a number of questions and get some more knowledge about Oris and the industry and collecting. And then if there are any questions from the audience to ask VJ directly, we have another mic we'll bring out for that as well. So the first question I have for you, VJ, is give us a little summary of the Oris brand. There might be people here tonight. What does it mean today? What stands out about Oris that's unique? Where is your niche in this industry today?
Sure. Oris is a 119-year-old Swiss watch brand. So we were founded in 1904 in the village of Holstein, Switzerland, which is in the Basel corner of Switzerland, if you know the geography of Switzerland. And it's really not where many of watch brands are based. Very few watch brands are based in that part of the country. They're mostly down south in the French part of the country. But Oris was founded there. It's actually the name of the creek that runs by the factory is named Oris. That's where the name of the brand came from. And we're one of the last independent manufacturers, I would say, one of the last mainstream independent Swiss manufacturers of watches, and that's really one of the things that makes us really unique in the sense, we're not owned by any group or any part of that, so we're independent financially, we're independent corporately, we're also independent in thinking, so we can do a lot of things that make sense for us as a brand that are long-term and not necessarily having to fit into some corporate structure or anything like that. So I think that's really what makes us unique.
Definitely. We do extremely well. There's a wide reach. It's a approachable brand with great quality. My next question is about you being with Oris for now 13 years in the leadership position, and your roles have expanded over time. So during that Oris journey, what What were the major changes? What were the challenges? And where is the brand going under your leadership?
Sure. I mean, I think this industry, for those of you who don't know, I mean, it's a challenging industry. It's a competitive industry, and sometimes being a small independent brand really has its moments, right? When you have big, large groups and retailer power and things like that, things you might not think of as consumers, but they exist in our world. So in the beginning, it was certainly a challenge dealing with, kind of people even in our industry didn't necessarily know who Oris was as a brand. So in the early years of that, it was really, it was challenging. But as the brand grew and as things happened, I mean, I will point to 2014 as kind of a turning point, 2015 when we introduced our Diver 65, which many of you know if you follow the product line. I think that was a real turning point for us in the sense of product that was recognizable to many people, put us really on the map of people that were, watch enthusiasts such as yourselves that were collecting and looking at watches. It was something like that that really kind of helped us. And, when I look at the industry over time, I mean, certainly been in it a long time, obviously, but over the past number of years, I think things like Instagram and those kind of things have really changed our industry, have helped our industry a lot in the sense of every one of you guys as consumers of watches, as people that really kind of collect and buy watches, everyone has a voice in the industry. So whereas before maybe you read a watch magazine, maybe you got your information from certain places, now everyone has that voice, and it's really, that's what I've seen as the major change in times of in kind of over time and how we've done things, and obviously with also the way watches are introduced, especially in the past 3 years or so, where they're not just all at once now, it's staggered along.
Great. Well, I want to ask the audience, raise your hand if you're wearing an Oris tonight. How many people are wearing Oris? All right. So there's a bunch of you out there. Great. And I forgot to ask you, a wrist check. What are you wearing tonight?
I'm wearing the Kermit, the new Kermit, so those of you who haven't seen it.
Let's give a round of applause to Oris. I think they broke the internet with the launch of the Kermit for sure. Yeah. And there's a guy here tonight wearing a Kermit t-shirt. Where is he?
I think he's in the other room.
Yeah, so there's a real Muppet stand here. My next question is a little bit about pre-owned and our relationship with you with Bob's Watches. What was it about Bob's Watches that attracted you to work with us directly? And what does a customer get out of buying an Oris watch through Bob's Watches?
Yeah, I think, as a brand, we certainly have situations where we have product that comes back to us or things that we've had sample product. And we always are looking for a place to basically, kind of sell that product to because it is product that we have. And we wanted a place that was something that was reputable, something that treated the brand correctly. So that's kind of how we started our relationship. And it's good to have a place like that. So when you buy a product, you're getting something of genuine value. You're getting something that's genuine. So that's kind of what we like about Bob's and the way you guys do business. And when you buy it, you get a limited warranty from Oris for buying a watch from Bob's. So there's some benefits to it too. It's not just, you're not taking chances, we stand behind the product, that sort of thing. Some other places you may buy product or look around and it's not something that's genuine, or there's always issues, or you try to get something serviced, or you try to have and you might have a problem with it. So.
And we appreciate it. I mean, I think it's very unique, and it's quite groundbreaking for a pre-owned retailer to be working directly with a Swiss brand to show the benefit of a long-term relationship with the brand for people who can come back and enjoy or find their first watch through a Bob's Watches for the, for whatever reason they're purchasing it from us versus the store. But it gets them into the loop of enjoying watches, and it's a role we play. And Bob's Watches has been around for about 13 years, and we really enjoy our audience with providing superior content and an understanding of luxury and communicating on novelties and news in the industry. And it's remarkable. So I think our journey together in the future will be great. One of my final questions is talking about what consumers look for when they're buying a watch today. When we started 25 years ago, it was design, price, demographic. But today, it's, I think, well beyond that. What kind of factors do you think are in the decision-making process of consumers today? How are they learning about brands, and what's making their decision to align with a brand like Oris?
Yeah, I think watches are, let's face it, and let's be honest, it's not something anybody needs, right? It's not a product that, we're all telling time. There's ways to tell time. It's really not about telling time. Yes, it does happen that way, but it's certainly not something that we need. So it's really an emotional thing. What does this watch mean to me? Where was I when I had this watch on? Do I like the look of this watch? Is it something that is standing for something? So I think those are the kind of factors that go into it. I mean, obviously price and kind of the feeling of, buying something that makes sense for you is certainly something that goes into a purchase, but everybody's different. So everybody has their different reasons for something. They might like the color, they might like the story, they might like the bracelet, they might like the way it fits, the way it feels, all those things. But like at the end of the day, I really think it's about how it makes you feel, its emotion and that sort of thing. And I think that's really the driving factor.
Because I definitely see, sustainability, mental health, green, localization of things, which leads me to, when you're running a country like the United States or the America, let's just focus on the US, what's unique about our market here that you have to sell to Switzerland to do the initiatives that you've accomplished? How does it connect to a global strategy, or have you found things locally that you've been unique to bring to Oris?
I mean, I feel very fortunate in the fact that, our Swiss organization, like we're one big family, and I think kind of we have the luxury of acting with common sense. And if things are common sense, then there's not really much to tell or much to sell per se. It's really not about that. It's like looking at what makes sense for each market and how does it work. In the US, I also think one of the things that's really led to success for us is just been engagement, right? It's just doing things like this. It's being with people that are talking to people, being out, being accessible. Those are the kind of things I think that are really important. And I think not every brand will do that. And I think it's just common sense to me as a person. It's just dealing with people as you would want to be dealt with as a person. So I think that's it. Excuse my voice. I've been a little under the weather. So.
You've probably been doing a lot of events being local. But I must say, Oris is really one of the few brands that is just so much engaging locally. They have these airstreams traveling all over the country. They're at events from car auctions to Texas hoedowns to football games. And they're even a partner with the San Diego Padres. So how many Padres fans are there? Good. Sorry, this Q&A is going in a different direction now. So we want to open it up to the floor. We have an additional microphone. So if we can bring that mic to the front. And if anyone has a question, just raise your hand and please feel free to ask either of us a question. Anybody? Question?
I would just love to know more about how the Kermit watch came to be a project. I'm a huge Muppet nerd, and so the second I saw the picture, I kind of went gaga for it.
So that's a great question. It is one we've been asked a lot lately. So the story of that is really, again, going back to what I said about not needing anything that, we view what we do as, internally we say basically we want to make people smile, because that's what it's about. And to us, Kermit was, the Muppets were, what do they do? What is their basic purpose? To entertain people, to make people happy, to do that sort of thing. Kermit is obviously the leader of the Muppets, so that's kind of how it came, because we see this philosophical synergy between us in terms of what we're thinking about. So that's how the project came about. And so we went about it that way. And honestly, it was, how is this going to be? How are people going to react to this? How is it going to be? Is it going to be good, or are people going to be like, what is this about? But it's been overwhelmingly positive, and it's been really nice to see. And it's really made a lot of people happy, and and that's what it's about. So it's good.
Great. Any more questions? Please.
I just want to say I've always had a special place in my heart for Oris because it's one of the first watches that I noticed in the movie in Constantine when Keanu Reeves wore a plastic tape, and I ended up buying the watch like 20 years later, being able to find one. And I wore Oris in my wedding, so it's always very special.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to know if there's been a kind of a effort to move up market maybe in the industry. I've noticed the pricing on some of the newer models seem to be higher than some of the older ones. And if that was the case, what are the challenges of kind of getting over that hurdle where you kind of had a reputation at one range and now you're moving up a different range? How do you tackle that?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I mean, we have, our pricing has come up, in recent years a little bit. I mean, part of that is just things have gotten more expensive in general. So like you see everyone kind of with that. But we've also come out with our own movements in the past since 2020. So our own automatic movements, I should say, since 2020. So that has certainly brought the average price up higher. But again, I think it's about, we're keeping a strategy of having an entry-level model with, a basic Swiss Solida movement in it. And then we're having our Caliber 400 versions of things that are also bringing it up, bringing the price point up. So I don't think the strategy is to go up market and totally change the price, but obviously with the higher price things, it is bringing the average price up a little higher of the brand, but we're still going to continue to have that lower price point and then the more in-house caliber price point as well. And
All right,
yeah, but just continuing with that too, even at the higher price point, the price value, what's going into the watch, again, 5-day power reserve, 10-year warranty, at that money is better than anything else at that money for, more bang for the buck in that sense. And I think that whether it's a $1,500 Oris or it's an $8,000 Oris, that still pervades through the whole line.
All right, we'll take one more question. I think there's a gentleman over there.
Hi there. Yeah, I really like a lot of the case design and so on. I think it's great. And one thing I'd love to see a little more of in the sports watch realm are moon phases. And so like a moon phase sport watch, pretty much the only option that I know of is the Kaplan, the 50 fathoms style, which has its own characteristics and pros and cons. So I don't know, food for thought if that's something you guys are working on, a moon phase sports watch with kind of your design aesthetic.
Thank you. It's not something we're working on at the moment, but thank you for the feedback. We'll certainly look at that and talk about that. I mean, we're always looking for different things to do. We always take a lot of feedback from the community and try to bring products that people want and do. So certainly, thank you for that.
Terrific. We also wanted to let you know in the other room we have a watch talk where you can sort of tell your story of your watch, and we'll sort of document that and hope to use it in a lot of our communications. What watch is meaningful? What are you wearing tonight? Why did you decide to buy it? It's a nice piece of a memento to kind of share with us. We would really appreciate it. But I just want to say, over 25 years of friendship and 25 more, and really thank you for the opportunity to have the Airstream and yourself be our special guest tonight. And thank you everybody for coming, and let's spend the next hour all getting to know each other and enjoy the beautiful atmosphere. Thank you.
Thank you.
Back Bay, baby.
I want to story a video. Oh my god. Welcome back to the United States. How long have you been here? You remember